I also wanted to cover a bit of technical details of hypnosis, because now that you understand broadly what hypnosis really is, it's also important to understand that while I have defined hypnosis as a process, really hypnosis can be defined as a process and a state both. What do I mean by this? Hypnosis by state refers to that state of receptivity where their unconscious is receptive, and not just receptive, their unconscious is able to help them change their natural behavior in a way in which the new behavior is in sync with the information that you're giving them, provided their conscious mind agrees with that information. And as a process, hypnosis means that set of techniques which will help people get into their highly receptive state. Uh, Obviously, receptive state is given. If you can help your participants get into that state, there's nothing better than that. But let's talk about process now. As far as process is concerned, there are multiple ways in which you can induce a hypnotic state. One process is that of confusion, where you induce people into a highly confused state, and in that state, when you give them a suggestion, the suggestion that you give them comes across like a relief. What do I mean by this? Have you ever been to a shop where you wanted to buy something? The buying had to be done immediately, but there were so many choices available that you got completely confused. And then the shopkeeper, after showing you all those options and creating that confusion in your mind, asked you, "Sir, just tell me what is the objective of the purchase." The moment you told them the objective, the seller told you that, "Sir, forget everything else. I'm telling you, buy this one particular product and you would thank me." And in that moment, if making that purchase was important for you, a lot of you would end up buying that, because the suggestion from that seller is a relief for you. It's making your life easier. What the seller did was, by creating a confusion, put you into a state where your unconscious was more receptive to suggestions. And the moment you heard that suggestion, the unconsciously naturally made a decision that, well, let me buy this. And it's when you buy that later on you may consider whether, well, I should have bought this, should have I thought more about this, but by then you've already bought it. So that's one way, confusion. Second way of inducing a hypnotic state is with the help of helping people get in touch with intense emotional states. And this is exactly what a lot of gurus and babas do. They would help people through meditation, through hypnosis, get in touch with intense emotions, generally positive emotions, where they will help them experience really deep sense of relaxation, calmness, a sense of bliss or happiness. And in that state, the Baba would then be able to tell them how they have the answers to all the questions that this audience may have. And once the person in that hypnotic state receives that suggestion and they realize that, yes, my Baba actually helped me achieve this state, and my Baba is saying what he's saying as true, that the Baba has the answers to my question. Once they accept that, oh, you will be surprised the kind of things people do based on what Babas tell them. It's remarkable how people will agree with some of the most nonsensical stuff coming from gurus and Babas, simply because they consider the Baba to know everything. And they consider it that way because they were in a highly receptive state when they accepted that suggestion. Next is, well, powerful speakers. Have you noticed how there are speakers who have the ability to use language in a way in which they're able to influence people, and not just influence their conscious choices? They're literally able to influence the behavior patterns that people will have after that. How are they able to do that? They are able to do that with the help of what we call as hypnotic language patterns, which is another way of inducing a hypnotic state. Now imagine if, as a trainer, you had the ability to use those language patterns with your participants in a class. Wouldn't that be great? Imagine if your participants were completely engaged into what you were saying to them. If they really wanted to not just listen to you, but apply what they are listening from you. If they could really create the positive changes, wouldn't it be great? And if I were to ask you, would you like to develop that skill? What would your answer